Harimi, harimi, al tirai, harimi, al tirai. Imri le'arei Yehuda, hinei Elokeichem. Harimi, harimi, al tirai.
Hello, we're continuing with Derech Hashem, and we are on page 653 of the Naaman edition, which is part 4, section 8, number 4. And we're going through the holidays, and today we are up to Rosh Hashanah. So let's talk about Rosh Hashanah. Even though it's snowing outside, and it's not Rosh Hashanah yet, there's still lessons we can learn throughout the year, and we can learn this also before Rosh Hashanah this coming year. The idea of shofar on Rosh Hashanah, on Rosh Hashanah, Hashem judges the entire world. And he recreates creation for the new cycle, the Hainu Hashana Chadash, or the new year. V'hinei nisdarim hasanhedros v'nerach hadin al kol hayitzur v'sidri hadin ha'elyon. According to the divine justice, the spiritual justice that happens, the courts, the heavenly courts, decide our fate of every human being. It's not just Jewish people, but every human being. Their fate gets decided on Rosh Hashanah, like we mentioned in the second section. And the prosecuting angel, he does his best to try to prosecute human beings based on the sins that they did. They said, this person should have a bad year. He's done so many sins. V'hinei, Sivanu HaKadosh Baruch Hu litkor b'shofar. On this day, Hashem commanded that we blow the shofar. V'hakavana bo lahamshich ha'hanhaga b'rachamim v'lo b'teikef adin. And the idea of the shofar is that Hashem should deal with us in a merciful way and not with strict justice. And to confuse the prosecuting angel that he should not prosecute us. So the shofar, the idea of the shofar on Rosh Hashanah is that we're being judged on this day, though we should be judged with mercy. V'hinei, kvar v'yanu b'chelik sheni, shekamo she'en midas hadin naisenes, she'yagia tov l'vnei adam, im lo yisku lo. So something that we mentioned in the second section was that God is just. God just doesn't give goodness to people when they don't deserve it. Meaning Hashem isn't going to ignore a person's sins, just totally ignore them. That's justice. Based on what people do. However, built in to the attribute of justice is that Hashem can deal with us with mercy. Like a rabbi said, someone who forgives somebody else, Hashem will forgive him. Because this is measure for measure. Just like you forgive somebody else, Hashem will forgive you. And Hashem will deal with him with mercy, and this itself is the attribute of justice. So there's a rule that Hashem, the way we are in the world is that there's nothing for free. Meaning that if a person is evil, and a person doesn't do good, Hashem isn't just going to forget all of his sins and just do good to him. That doesn't happen, right? Hashem just doesn't ignore sins. He just doesn't, it has to be just, because Hashem is a just God. However, built into God's attribute of justice are certain things that can be done that Hashem will deal with us with mercy. So it's not that he's ignoring what we did wrong, but built into the system of justice, he deals with us with mercy. An example that he's citing here is that if you're a type of person that forgives others when they sin against you, when they do something mean to you, and really they deserve it, they did something horrible to you, and you forgive them, so Hashem is going to deal with you in a similar way. That's not Hashem overlooking what you did, but rather that's built in to the attribute of justice that God deals with you the way he deals with others. It's not only this thing that in that example of a kol ma'aser shetigzor hachacham elyon alav hayoser roy legamel kach. Whatever Hashem decreed that something should be repaid through mercy, it'll be repaid through mercy. And included in this is Tkiyah Shofar. So Hashem built in to his attribute of justice, that when someone blows a shofar on Rosh Hashanah, Hashem will deal with him with mercy. That the Jewish people were commanded to blow the shofar, that it should bring down Hashem's dealing with us in mercy. When we observe this mitzvah properly, this is the fruit that we can collect from it. Okay, in the details, why shofar specifically is it associated with mercy? It's dependent on the roots of this mitzvah and its basic principles. It's true according to its true thing. The true idea is to awaken, that we may be strengthened through our forefathers and the merit of our forefathers, to awaken the attribute of mercy, to appease the attribute of strict justice, and that goodness should overcome evil, and to subjugate the powers of evil, and to take away the strength of the prosecuting angels, and that God should deal with us with his midah of romamus, to deal with us with the shlita, the control of his oneness, to overlook sin, and it's all through this mitzvah. When we do tshuva with it, right? We can't just build a shofar and not want to change. We do tshuva, we repent, and everything according to its specific rectification. So he's talking here about the midas of romamuso, that when we blow the shofar, we're invoking that Hashem should deal with us with the midah of romamus. That is, there's something we've discussed here and we've discussed in Das Tfunos, is that there are two general ways that Hashem deals with the world. There is the midah of mishpat, which we've been discussing. That is strict justice, that a person does something good, he gets rewarded. If he does something bad, he gets punished. And then there's a midah of romamus, that God also deals with the world because we believe that the world has a purpose. The purpose of the world is that everyone should recognize that Hashem is one, that there's one God, and he's the one in control. And Hashem pushes human history along that we should reach that recognition. And that's called midas haromamus. So sometimes, for midas haromamus to take effect, that means Hashem isn't going to judge every sin in the strict sense, because in order that the world gets to its final conclusion, we can't be punished in the strict sense for every single sin that we did. So when we blow shofar, it invokes the midas haromamus, that Hashem should deal with us with his midas hayichud, his midas haromamus, that he should push the world to its final conclusion, where everyone recognizes that Hashem is one, and he should not deal with us with the strict justice, and rather deal with us through mercy. Okay, so that's a lot of deep ideas in the shofar. Be kedai to re-listen to this by Rosh Hashanah time, and then we'll have we're almost at the end of the Sefer. For those of you who have been with us the whole time, we'll talk about Yom Kippur next time, and then some other of the mitzvos, and then we will have finished Derech Hashem. Thank you to everyone for listening.